This lesson we're going to create eyelashes. We could start an easy way. See how I click that face and then clicked another face. It'll in that same loop it'll select a loop of faces based on the edge ring, and then duplicate face. So now we have our original object, and then we have these two that we created, and we know that one side of those will already match the eyelid's position, so we can just drag out the other side, and we know that it'll look correct. And it's kind of good to do it this way because if we have a deformation on the eye later on, we want these verts to be in the same position as the ones of the eyelid, because that way they'll deform kind of in the same way. Okay, so we're dragging these out. Might not need that one on the end. I'm just going to get rid of it. So if you ever studied drawing, in drawing they always say to it's a good practice to create eyelashes with one kind of stroke, not to draw every single individual eyelash out. And a lot of 3D modelers will create every individual eye, especially if you're going for photoreal or hyperreal or anything like that. But a lot can be accomplished with a texture map on a plane, and that'll work for almost anything you do, unless you end up getting really close to the eye, in which case you might want individual eyelashes. But whatever you end up doing, whether you end up doing paint effects or you end up doing individual poly strands or whatever, it would be helpful to take a poly or a NURBS plane and arrange it in the way that it's arranged here. We're going to add a little more detail to it to kind of delineate the flow of and the direction of all these eyelashes that are going to be coming out. And so it's up to you where kind of the eyelashes begin in the inside corner of the eye. So I'm going to pull that out pretty far, maybe even farther than it is right now, because basically once we put a texture on this, it's going to be a texture of eyelashes that we're going to use as an alpha map, which you can find almost anywhere. I'm really not going to include that in this tutorial because it's more of a texturing thing, but it's pretty simple. You just find a picture of fake eyelashes or a eyelashes texture map. Google it. I guarantee you'll find some, and then you just map that plane that you've created right there onto that. If it's black and white, you use the black and white as an alpha, and then you can either create a color map or use the surface as the material as whatever the color of the eyelashes is. So we're creating a curve there. And the reason we're making them really long is because we don't want the end of that alpha. We don't know if there's a couple of eyelashes that are going to be really long. We want to make sure that none of the eyelashes get cut off, because that will be noticeable. So we want to make sure that our plane goes beyond where the farthest eyelash will go, and will fit all of our eyelashes comfortably. And besides that, big eyelashes are cool. I personally think they're pretty cool. So just make big flashy eyelashes. Okay. So pretty simple. Here we go. So you could tweak those, look at them from other angles, look at them from kind of behind, see how they look, and tweak them until they're basically done. In the next lesson, we'll be adjusting the face, adjusting the eyes and the nose and things like that to correct perceived problems in the face. Or anything that we don't like about the face that we can easily correct with Soft Select. Thanks for watching.